Hey there, movie fans, it's your favorite movie teller, Weirdo, and I'm about to take you on a wild ride with a film that's packed with suspense, intrigue, and jaw-dropping twists. Just a heads up, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen this one yet, tread carefully. Let's dive into this thrilling adventure together.
Buckle up as we dive into the heart-pounding world of the 2016 crime, mystery, and thriller movie Run.
The preterm daughter of Diane Sherman is shown in the incubator, unmoving, with medical professionals attempting to save her life. Diane is praying while lying in bed in a different room. Diane walks into the room to visit her kid after the doctors have stabilized her and inquires about her well-being. A woman can be seen sobbing quietly in what looks to be a mother support group as she asks someone to assist her toddler wash his teeth. The group is eager to hear Diane's thoughts once she is done, but she is given that she is using her phone during the meeting, it is clear that she is bored. Reluctantly, Diane shares that in a few months, her daughter Chloe will be attending college. She informs the group that she has been looking after her daughter for 17 years, and that her whole life has revolved around her well-being. She says she never had time to travel or go on dates since she was so focused on raising her daughter. Chloe's group leader praises her for her bravery in not letting her disability hold her back.
Chloe gets out of bed and gets into her wheelchair. She uses the restroom to puke up before going to apply lotion to a few of the skin rashes she had. She then uses her elevator to go downstairs after taking her prescription for the day. When she pricks Chloe's finger to measure her insulin levels, she discovers that they are a bit higher than normal. Chloe steals the needle and gives herself an insulin injection before Diane can give it to her. Diane then assists Chloe with her academic studies and psychical treatment. Chloe takes more tablets in the afternoon. As soon as the mailman arrives, Chloe goes straight to the door. Diane had already gathered the letters before she does. Diane notices Chloe is having trouble breathing, so she tells her to take her inhaler. Chloe says she's all right. Diane assures Chloe that if a college letter arrives, she would reveal it to her right away, and advises her to concentrate on her schoolwork for the meantime. As Diane takes care of her garden, she harvests some tomatoes to utilize in her supper preparation. Diane discovers that Chloe's insulin levels are low after monitoring them again, so she gives Chloe a piece of chocolate. Chloe later appears to be enthusiastic to attend the University of Washington as she watches films about it. Because she is so invested in the movie she is viewing, she hardly ever responds when her mother asks her a question. Chloe is later observed using a 3D printer in her room. She finds it frustrating that some of its features don't work. After giving Chloe the last of her medication, Diane descends to the basement. She pours herself a glass of wine and plays old home videos of Chloe growing up. Chloe notices her mother unpacking goods from the vehicle in front of the home the next morning. She wants to go outside as she looks out the window. Checking over the food her mother purchased, Chloe takes a couple chocolates before Diane departs to locate better service after receiving a call. She discovers a bottle of her mother's prescription medication. She hears her mother and returns the pills to the grocery bag. Diane reports that she had to switch medicines because her previous medication manufacturer went out of business. Diane laughs and assures Chloe it's only a label when she grudgingly asks. Chloe forgoes taking her medication the next morning. She creates a kind of mechanical claw that she uses to go to the pill bottle on the top shelf. I hear an automobile coming. When Chloe rushes to retrieve the mail, it turns out it's the mailman again. She discovers Diane has already reached the door. When Chloe's alone, she looks into tablets called trioxane. Chloe looks at the bottle and sees her name on the label. When she chooses to take it off, her mother's identity is revealed. She becomes aware that she was given needless medication. Chloe later spits up her medications in private after receiving them from her mother for the night. Chloe uses the computer to resume her trioxane study after she is certain her mother is asleep. She does not, regrettably, have an internet connection. Diane is spotted haggling with an internet provider in the morning. Their internet connection seems to be down indefinitely. Diane questions Chloe about using the internet, claiming to have been researching how to fix her 3D printer on Google. Chloe lies. Every time Chloe's mother is sidetracked, she looks for a chance to find out more information about the pills. When she attempts to phone a drugstore, they promptly hang up on her because they think her mother is speaking. Chloe tries several times to get through to a pharmacy, but eventually a guy answers a random number that she phones. She begs him to look into trioxane tablets for her. The father eventually gives in after some convincing, and Chloe quickly learns that trioxane is a medication used to treat cardiac illness and can result in heart failure. After discovering that the colors of the pills don't match, with trioxane being red and the pills she's been taking being green, Chloe is confused and doesn't know what to do next. Chloe and her mother see a movie at a cinema the next day. Chloe gives herself an excuse to go to the restroom. Rather, Chloe exits the house and crosses the road to the drugstore. She skips the queue and asks the pharmacist what sort of drug it is after displaying it to her. The pharmacist first declines to speak with Chloe, but after she lies and claims that she and her mother are on a treasure hunt and the next clue is the pill's name, the pharmacist tells her the drug is really a canine muscular relaxant. Chloe is experiencing anxiety. Diane rushes into the drugstore and gives Chloe an insulin injection. After dropping Chloe off at home, she showers. It is found that she appears to have suffered whipping or slicing injuries to her back, leaving significant scars. Afterwards, Diane calls the drugstore and tries to persuade the clerk that she would never give her kid medication intended for animals. Diane Googles neurotoxins found in homes. In her chamber, when Chloe wakes up, her room's door is locked. She attempts to flee when she notices that her mother doesn't seem to be at home. Although she is able to pick the latch, the door is being jammed shut by a rake. Chloe decides to crawl out of the window, fill her mouth with water, and knot a bundle of electrical lines together. She makes it to the next window, where she plugs in she accelerates the process of breaking the window by spitting water on it. Through the window she climbs. Chloe had to run back to her room for her inhaler since she can't breathe at all. When she gets there, she realizes the electricity is off and rushes to her elevator. She hurts herself when she throws herself down the stairs. She discovers she can wiggle her toe when hurt. As Chloe attempts to flee in her wheelchair, she unintentionally wheels in front of a vehicle. Diane shows up at the same moment. The man and Diane are arguing because he has doubts about Diane. When the guy asks Chloe if she would rather go to the hospital or the police, she replies that she would rather go to the police. Unfortunately, Diane gives the man an insulin shot to immobilize him before they can leave. Chloe begins to hyperventilate. When Chloe awakens in the basement, her college letters are in the mess. In addition, Chloe discovers her infant pictures, in which she appears to be walking despite her mother's insistence that she has always used a wheelchair. Additionally, Chloe discovers a baby called Chloe's death certificate, which indicates that the child was barely alive for slightly longer than 2 hours. According to the newspaper article mentioning a kid taken from a hospital, Diane took Chloe when she was a newborn to replace her deceased child. In a flashback, Diane is depicted screaming while holding her deceased kid. Later, while she waits for the nurse to depart, Diane walks into the room at that precise time, and the two get into a furious dispute. Diane sobs as Chloe wonders whether she has ever been genuinely ill. Diane tries to convince Chloe that everything she has done has been for her own benefit. Diane implores Chloe to return to their previous life, but Chloe declines. Diane puts the syringe in a pot that has paint thinner in it out of desperation. Clutching at the closet door, Chloe realizes that Diane is going to poison her. Diane begs Chloe to unlock the door, but Chloe refuses to cooperate. Diane bursts through the door to see Chloe carrying a vial of drugs that
swallows a large number of tablets. Diane cries and attempts, in vain, to make Chloe throw up the pills. Chloe is saved when she is compelled to take her to the hospital. Diane begs the doctor outside the hospital room to allow her daughter to continue her therapy at home, but they refuse. Chloe tries to get the attention of her attending physician as she is in her hospital room. She seems to be unable to move her hands. She tries to scribble something on a piece of paper, but before the physicians can see what Chloe wrote, an emergency alarm causes them to go. Diane takes advantage of this to kidnap Chloe. She swears on the elevator that she won't ever hurt Chloe again. The physicians learn that Chloe has been kidnapped. The escalator stairs aren't working, so Diane tries to help Chloe down by herself. After a disagreement, Diane draws her pistol. She is shot by a policeman before she can use it, and she tumbles down the escalator. Chloe is seen driving a car 7 years later while traveling to see her mother. Chloe's legs seem to be doing better. She runs into a visibly ill Diane. Diane's pulse quickens when Chloe coughs up 3 Troxane tablets. And say, "I love you, Mum."
If you've enjoyed the ride and made it this far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our next thrilling adventure. Your support means the world to us. Thanks a ton for watching. See you soon with more exciting content.